Yo, what is up, Karma Nation? We are back at it again for another prop party pod for this glorious week 4 of NFL football. I am here with my boy Ethan to break down another slate on monkeyknifefight.online and prizepicks.online. Make sure to use promo code KARMA and use those referral links. Get yourself a nice little deposit bonus and a free play to start it off. How are you doing this Saturday morning?
I'm doing wonderful today. We are coming off a great week of NFL props. I know you've been profiting. I've been profiting. I know all our subs have been profiting. We are riding very, very high right now with props. So,
Yeah, that week 2 was a little rough, but week 3 and Thursday night were all great to us. We swept prize picks, hit that 2 for 2, 3 for 3, and 4 for 4, and then hit our second half prop and our full game prop on Monkey Knife Fight on Thursday. So, pretty nice.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you aren't signed up with Monkey Knife or Prize Picks yet, you need to. Get in our Discord. It's not expensive at all, and you literally make your money back within a week, usually. So,
$15 a week. You saw that opening. You get core plays, so DFS lineups and props for just $15 a week. That turns out to $60 every month. What do we got? 4 weeks of NFL. 4 months of NFL. So that's $240. So
yeah,
we can easily get you over $240 for the season. If you're betting more than 10, 20. If you get like $10, $20 each cash prop, should be pretty easy to get to that 240 for the season.
So, and just to recap too for the viewers out there, because I actually have the numbers in front of me right now. Last Sunday only, not counting the Monday or Thursday game, Joey and I went 6 for 6 wins for cash props, 2 losses, and we had 2 GPP wins and 2 losses. So very profitable day last Sunday. So
yeah, at 3x each prop, 6 wins get you if you're only doing like $10 a prop, that's $180 right there. 120 profit, and then you subtract those 2 losses, 20. So that's $100 of profit right there in 1 week.
Yeah, and well worth it for $15, Joey. 15,
yeah. And that's only $10 a prop. I know we play like $100, so
yeah. Well, I played 500 on that 4 for 4.
Yeah, that was nice. You got that nice $4,500 profit on that.
Yeah. I hit a 4 for 4, put 500 on it, $4,500 profit, and safe to say I ate a very nice steak dinner the following day. So
yeah, good for you. Take your girlfriend out for something nice, right?
Maybe she was nicer.
calling some pricey strippers, I guess.
Right
there. Yeah. All right. So let's get right into it here. Make sure you. So we have a paid subscription, but we also have a free subscription too. If you just go to chatdfs.com, that gets you into our Discord for free. You can see our screenshots there, so you know our success. There's proof, and then you can still ask our experts some questions, but you just won't get all the answers compared to the paid subscription. And also we have a free subscription for Bet Karma too. So if you go to bettingkarma.com, that'll get you into our Discord, and then we have some premium channels. So just make sure to subscribe to our NFL Core Plays, just $15 a week.
And make sure you follow DFS Karma Twitter. I post one free prize pick play on there every Sunday morning. And then I post a Monkey Knife Fight prop, but I only fill in one of the blanks. So you got to kind of figure out the other half of it. But I post both of those on the DFS Karma Twitter page for free on every Sunday morning. So look at those and hop in our free the free part Discord. And if you want, ask Joey or myself questions on the other half of the prop, and we'll help you out.
Yeah, if you get in the free Discord, you get notifications each time we drop an article or a video. So it gets you those notifications right away, which is nice. So yeah, let's get into it. I know we'll start off with Ethan. He's going to be breaking down the Colts-Bears game on monkeyknifefight.online. So what are you looking at in that game?
All right, we got the Bears and Colts. It should be a very good game. Your boy Nick Foles is back.
Big Dick Nick.
Talk about that game last week. Chicago comes back and beats Atlanta. via Nick Foles, pretty much.
That's just
The Nick
embarrassing.
Foles show. So one thing I want to point out, so I think so people are going to look at the Colts and think, oh, they have a tough defense. The over-under is 43, Colts are -3 favorites. But we got to look at who the Colts have played so far this year. The Jets, total garbage. The Vikings, Cousins suck. He can't throw the ball. And then we have the Jaguars, who also can't throw the ball. So, yes, the Colts' passing defense is one of the best in the league, but they haven't played a good quarterback yet. And I think, Joe, you would agree with me, Nick Foles is probably going to be the best quarterback they've played this year.
Yeah.
So I take that with a grain of salt. Colts have this great defense. Let's see how they perform against a good offense. Not saying Chicago's this elite offense, but I think we can all agree that Nick Foles makes the offense better in general.
Yeah, this is their first test of the season at least. So
Correct.
Let's see what they can do.
So, and I actually like the over on the over-under is 43. I like the over. We know the Colts can put up points, and I fully expect the Bears to put up points too this week. So I don't mind the over on that. I do expect the Colts to win, though, just because I love Jonathan Taylor and what they're doing in the running game. And we saw last week Atlanta just blitzed them in the run game. Chicago had no answer for the run. And Chicago's pass defense is good. But, boy, I mean, Todd Gurley looked like he was a rookie again, the way he was running. So, they gave up over 100 yards rushing between Gurley and Brian Hill. And I think we can agree Jonathan Taylor is a lot better than both of those guys.
Yeah.
So the cash prop I'm looking at in this game is the 2 for 2, and it's going to be the stats play. So we're looking at Allen Robinson and Jonathan Taylor. So I like Allen Robinson over 5.5 receptions. And here's why. Yes, Colts pass defense is good, but Allen Robinson is the guy. He has 31 targets through the first 3 games. The second leading target guy on the Bears offense is Jimmy Graham at 13 targets. So, I mean, Robinson is clear 1, and then you have everyone else way down here. So I love the Robinson over 5.5, especially now that there's a better quarterback throwing him the ball. I fully expect Robinson to probably average about 7 or 8 catches a game moving forward, especially since they have no running game because Montgomery sucks at running.
Yeah, and we got the game script, projected negative game script for the Bears, so they're going to be passing. Allen Robinson should have 2 or 3 catches at the very end of the game, too. So if he's not over by the last drive, don't worry. As long as they're losing, he should still get there.
Yeah, so I like Robinson over 5.5 receptions, and then I love Taylor over 79.5 rushing yards. Again, same thing. We saw last week Atlanta just ran all over Chicago. Chicago's pass defense is good. Rivers is washed, I think. So Colts are having to rely on the run game. And you look at what Jonathan Taylor's done this year, he has been performing very well outside of that first week. When for some reason, the Colts decided to run the ball like 0 times. They just wanted to pass with Rivers for 40-plus times.
Yeah.
Which made 0 sense to me at all. But, against the Jets blowout, he had 13 rushing attempts for 59 yards rushing. If that game would have stayed close, if you didn't have all those pick 6 returns for touchdown, I bet you Taylor would have ran for 100 yards, 20 rushing attempts, 100 yards, give or take, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, you saw what he did against Minnesota when, it was a good game all around. They had the lead, but it wasn't a blowout like the Jets. He had 26 rushing attempts for 100 yards rushing. Jonathan Taylor is the new Derrick Henry.
Oh, don't say that. Don't.
Oh, he will be. You just wait, Joey. You just wait.
No one's blowing out Tractor Cito.
You just wait. But I do like Taylor. Positive game script. Colts are going to be leading. They're going to feed Taylor. That offensive line's good for the Colts. I like Jonathan Taylor over 79.5. That's the 2 for 2 that I am locking in today. That's my favorite cash play as of right now.
Yeah, I love Taylor. You take out week 1, he is fourth in the league in rushing attempts, and he didn't really finish last game just because all those pick 6s in the blowout. Don't want to waste your player, get an injury for no reason. So averaging 80 yards over the last 2 games. Great after contact. 7 broken tackles in 2 games, which is great. Yeah, I expect him to see another 20-plus carry game tomorrow. It's not going to be a blowout at all.
No.
So easily, if Gurley can do it with his knees just completely just gone, Taylor can easily do it. He's not Derrick Henry 2.0, but
He will be.
he's close. Definitely the best running back in the draft. And I give him. He's at the end of the season. He'll probably be a top 10, top 5 running back in the league. So he probably would have gone really high in fantasy drafts if you did a redraft after week 1, knowing that Mac was done for the season.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of hurt.
Yeah,
I think we were all expecting a 50-50 split for the majority of the year, and now with no Mac, it's like, damn it, I wish I had Taylor first round, especially Dynasty.
Yeah, especially with that line.
Ben got him.
Ben just grabbed all the rookie running backs.
Yeah, Ben knew what he was doing. We didn't know what we were doing, so bravo.
Yeah, Ben took advantage of us.
So, Joey, what game you looking at?
All right, yeah, let's pull Monkey Knife Fight back up. Yeah, so lock in that 2 for 2. Just lock that in right now. So hopefully that doesn't move by the time you're watching this pod. But I am going to go to the Chargers game. Let's pull that up. I got my Bosa jersey on right here.
Think they're going to win?
No. Tom Brady always beats us throughout a whole career. Every playoff, every season, just beats us. It's not fair. But if he was in the league, we might have a Super Bowl appearance. But yeah, so looking at the game, Herbert put up back-to-back 300-yard games. Expecting another game script in favor of his passing. He's only at 235. Books have him at 227. I love the overs on both of those. Brady's a little tougher. You can make that decision yourself. But I love the Herbert over at 235.5. Brady, if they get up too much, especially against a good deep pass defense, bad run defense, they're going to run Ronald Jones into the ground, especially with no Fournette. You'll see similar numbers from week 1 for Ronald Jones. I loved him, Ronald Jones, week 2, but of course Fournette decided to take over. So
that's our price pick prop too.
Yeah, that hurt. Week 2 was not our week at all.
And what was it? He was like, what, 12.5, and he got that touchdown first quarter, and he was 10 or something, 9 or 10 the whole game, and just didn't move.
Yeah, Fournette just got all the snaps. I had him over at Bet Karma on week 2. I had him over 60 rushing yards. Panthers just suck against the run. That's something you can take advantage of the whole season, especially touchdowns, which they give up 2 rushing touchdowns each game. So look out for Kenyan Drake this week. But back on track here, the one I am looking at for a cash prop, if you pull up the rapid fire, 2 for 3. I love this prop. Herbert should ease. I think Herbert passes for more passing yards than Tom Brady in this game. So if you're going to give him 30.5 passing yards bonus, unless for some reason the Chargers are winning, maybe from a pick 6 or something, I don't see how Herbert loses to Brady. And you give him that 30-point window, there's no reason for him not to win that. So lock that in, Herbert over Brady, bonus 30.5 passing yards. So if you don't really understand what this is, if you're not familiar with betting, it's kind of like a spread. So if Herbert has 200 passing yards for the game, he technically has 230.5 for this. So as long as he stays within 30 passing yards, he should beat him. So whatever Herbert has, you add 30.5, and that's what he has for the prop. So that should be easy. And then you got receptions, Keenan Allen versus Mike Evans. So we saw last week Mike Evans had 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns on 4 targets. He's more of a deep threat, even with they do have some injuries. They're missing a wide receiver. Chris Godwin's going to be out, so Scotty Miller's going to fill in that slot role, most likely for him. So you're going to expect a little more from Evans, but I still don't see him beating Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's projected for 7 or 8 receptions easily today. tomorrow. And he should easily be able, especially if you're getting the game script end of the game, just like with Allen Robinson, he could see 2 or 3 catches in the very last drive as they're marching down the field. So I love Keenan Allen over Mike Evans. I have Mike Evans around 4 or 5 catches maximum. And then Keenan Allen I have around 7 or 8 with a 13 reception ceiling. So the variety of outcomes, Mike Evans' ceiling is Keenan Allen's average. So I don't see him losing that unless Evans has a ceiling game and Allen has a floor game. And then you got the rushing yards here. You got Ronald Jones versus Austin Eckler. Ronald Jones isn't going to be a workhorse because you still have Shady McCoy. He's going to get probably 20% of the snaps unless they completely hate Ronald Jones again. But Eckler's not going to have the game script in his favor. You also have Joshua Kelly right there stealing carries. Kelly wasn't as much of a factor last game, I think, because of the game script. They just went away from him. So you're going to see a similar game script again on Sunday. So I'm expecting 50 to 60 rushing yards for Eckler. And you can see upwards from 80 rushing yards from Ronald Jones. Especially our defense is just awful against the run. We always have been, always will be. Ronald Jones should just rush up the middle every single play for 5-6 yards a carry.
Joey, don't forget that Buccaneers defense is really good against the run too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Matchups. Chargers can't guard the run. Buccaneers can guard the run. And that is perfect for game script because Buccaneers are going to have to run. Chargers are going to have to pass. So
yeah,
Buccaneers pass defense is pretty bad. And you got all the weapons for Herbert. So even if Ronald Jones somehow, if Shady takes over too much, it's still a 2 for 3. And those first 2 are pretty much locks. Forgot to check the 2 for 2. Let's see the 2 for 2 rapid fire. Is that?
And while you're checking that, Jerry, I'll just point out, just kind of give you an idea what this Bucs rush defense has done. McCaffrey only had 58 yards rushing against them week 2 on 18 carries. So, yeah. And I think we could agree McCaffrey's probably the best running back in the league when healthy. So
second best. Alvin Kamara is a goddamn just.
Well, here
monster.
You go. Kamara first week against Bucs, 12 carries, 16 yards.
Exactly. Yep.
So and Eckler's not Kamara, not CMC. So I fully expect Jones to win that matchup in the rapid fire easily.
Yeah. So I just checked the 2 for 2. You can play that if you want instead because it's receptions and passing yards. So if you can play both too, just make sure you go heavier on the 2 for 3 than the 2 for 2. But both rapid fires I love, so those are probably my 2 favorite props on the game, at least 2 safest props.
Yeah.
So I'd lock in. So you got Justin Herbert 30.5 passing yards bonus compared to Tom Brady. So lock in Herbert, and then receptions you got. Keenan Allen needs 1 more reception, so Mike Evans has that 0.5 bonus, but we're going to lock in Keenan Allen. So you can do that as a 2 for 2 or a 2 for 3, and then you also have Ronald Jones is a 8.5 point favorite. Eckler has that 8.5 point bonus, but we're going to lock in Ronald Jones as well. So I like those. If you want to get a little riskier, then go for that 4 for 4. Let me pull that up real quick if you want to have a little more fun.
Ooh, GPP.
It's tougher. You got Scotty Miller versus Hunter Henry. That's a tougher one. I'd lean. Tampa is not good against tight ends, so that's a tough one. Scotty should be winning all the way up to the last drive. You might get screwed over by garbage time, but I'll lean Scotty Miller. Just because if we're going to go... someone needs to soak up that passing yards for Tom Brady. I don't think he's going to be that bad. I have him around 220 passing yards. So someone's going to have to soak up that usage. We lost Chris Harris, but we're sliding in Desmond King, who was one of the best slot corners in the league last year and the year before. He was like graded above Casey Hayward for PFF coverage. So over the past 2 years. So even though we lose Chris Harris, we slide in just as good, maybe even better slot corner there. So I'd lean Scotty Miller though. Tougher matchup, but someone's gonna have to get the yards for him.
Yeah.
And Henry's more of a possession guy, so Henry might have more receptions but have less receiving yards. But that's a tougher one. I'm gonna be avoiding that. But yeah, and if you want to have fun with the 6 for 6, I would lock in Brady under, Herbert over. I'll say Brady under 265.5 passing yards. Herbert over 235.5 passing yards. I would lock in Allen over 6.5 receptions. Ronald Jones over 60.5 rushing yards. And then these are the tougher ones. I'd lean over on Scotty Miller, 53.5 receiving yards. And Mike Evans is a toss-up. I'd rather this be receptions than receiving yards. Because I'm sure they have him at 5.5 receptions, which I'd love the under on. But he's a big play threat, so Chargers known to give up a couple big plays a game. So you can make the decision on that or wait for it to change to receptions. If it goes receptions, I like the under 5.5. And according to the rapid fire, Evans will be either 5.5 or 6.5, which I love the unders on both. So you can wait or just build another GPP off of that. Maybe just do the 4 for 4. Yeah. Let's just tout the 4 for 4 real quick here. Let's go under on Brady, 265. Over on Herbert, 235. Over on Allen, 72 receiving yards. I like the receptions better, but it's still good at 72 receiving yards. And then over on Ronald Jones, rushing yards. So fun 2 for 2 right there. Locking that in right there. Make sure you play less money on that. If you play $10 on the 2 for 2s, $20 on the 2 for 3s, only play $2 or $5 depending on your risk tolerance on the 4 for 4. Bankroll management, very, very, very important.
Yes.
All right. Anything you liked in that game, or any pivots to any of my plays?
Not really. I mean, you touched on everything. I wish I had more confidence in the Brady under 265 because I do love the over on Herbert, like you said, 235.5. He's looked pretty darn good early on, surprisingly. And I like the Brady under, like you said. I just don't think it's as much of a lock as the Herbert over is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because, we saw Brady last week. I don't know why they did it. They played Denver. They were up big the whole game. But Brady still threw 38 passes. He still went over. I think he threw for almost 300 yards. I don't know why they had Brady. I mean, he's old. You don't need him throwing 38 passes against in a winnable game. So
yeah,
I would think he stays under. But after watching what he did against Denver, I just can't put big money on that 2 for 2. I wanted to put money on that 2 for 2 so bad.
I know.
I just can't put the $1,000 bet on that because of Brady.
Yeah, there would have been a chance of putting $1,000 on that for sure.
Yeah, I do think Herbert over is probably one of the best plays of the day, if not the best.
Yeah, that 2 for 2s is close. I'd have more confidence in the rapid fire than the just a regular 2 for 2. But we held Burrow to under 200 yards. Burrow has back-to-back 300-yard games after that. Mahomes only went over 300 just because we were losing and it went into overtime, and we punted the ball back to him in overtime. So
yeah, he got all his yards in that overtime and very into the fourth. So
yeah, and then check down Teddy had 235. So yeah, and most of that was to Mike Davis, and very low ADOT. So I expect, especially with no Godwin, unless somehow we're winning this game. Because the Bucks are 7-point favorites. I don't expect us to be winning this game, but Herbert somehow is winning the Chiefs game. So, but that's what happens when you throw in a quarterback 10 seconds after the coin flip.
And let's remember, Chiefs stopped running the ball too. Clyde Edwards had 7 rushing attempts at the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Why? I will still not understand that when the way to beat the Chargers is on the ground. So. They just gave up on the run way too early. So I don't expect I think Bruce Arians is a good head coach. I think Brady also is a good player, and he knows, hey, the way to beat them is through the ground. So I could see the game plan for the Bucks is, hey, let's pound Jones, pound him the rock. We'll throw it here and there to keep the defense honest, but I think Jones is in for a big game tomorrow.
Yeah, I went heavy on the 2 for 2 rapid fire just now. I just locked that in for a lot of money. Yeah, so and then I locked the 2 for 3 in the same amount of money. Yeah, so I went heavy on that. Hopefully my Chargers don't let me down for being bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on. We're gonna have some fun and play the 8 for 8 in the early games. So if you go to the Star Shootout early games, you scroll all the way over. You got the 8 for 8. So there's 2 different 8 for 8s. You got the fantasy points and you got the passing yards. We're gonna look at the passing yards here. We can pull that up. We have Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Teddy Bridgewater. Get all 8 picks right, you 100 extra money. You can turn $10 into $1,000 real quick with these easy plays. Yeah. 8 for 8, it's tough. It's a GPP. Expect to lose these. It's like a lottery ticket. Expect you're not gonna win.
Yeah. So if you're playing $20, so I put $20 on this play. I fully expect to lose the $20, and I'm okay losing the $20. Don't go put $50 on, and then you come crying in Discord. That 8 for 8 lost. I put 50 on it. It's a GPP play. If you don't feel comfortable losing $50, don't put 50 on it.
Yeah, with all the success we've had over Monkey Knife Fight, I've never hit an 8 for 8 ever.
Yeah, neither have I.
I came really close, and then I put 50 on it for fun. I was hitting until the very last drive. Last 5 minutes of the game, Ryan Tannehill had 2 possessions. He was under by like 100 yards. Ryan Tannehill had 2 possessions in 5 minutes at the end of the game, and went over by like 20 yards. Game script, so important, because crap like that happens. So let's take a look. We agreed on, we have 2 unders and 6 overs. So we'll start with Dak Prescott, 320.5 passing yards. We both agreed on the under. Vegas is favoring the over, but what we know is Dak Prescott loves garbage time. That's where majority of his yards come from in that fourth quarter. We trust that the Cowboys are going to be winning this game. We shouldn't trust it, but we're going to have to. 320 is a lot if he's not getting garbage time. If they are winning this game, he will go under.
Game theory.
No reason for him. I have him at 280 if they're going to be winning this game.
Yeah.
Yes, Dak Prescott puts up yards, but there's a reason for it.
And expect an Elliott bounce back tomorrow. Elliott looked awful against Seattle. So bad. Probably his worst game of his career. And it's been in the media all week. He knows it. He's heard all the rumors, everyone talking about how bad he looked. I expect Elliott to come out and just have a massive rushing game.
Yeah, and we have Tyron Smith back, so that definitely helps the run game. That helps the Cowboys in general, so that'll help them be winning this game. And it's the Browns.
Don't want to get it out.
They're not good.
Yeah.
And Hunt and Beckham are questionable, but probably going to play. If any of those 2 guys are out, I think more if Hunt's out than Beckham's out, they're going to have problems running this offense, and they're probably going to pound Chubb most of the game. You saw Dak put up a ton of yards against the Falcons, a ton of yards versus the Seahawks last week, and only put up 266 versus the Rams because it was a close, low-scoring game compared to the Falcons where they had to come back. He got that onside kick, got a few extra yards there, had like 40 extra yards. And it's just, he had back-to-back 450-yard passing games, but that's not going to happen if they're winning. And I'm sure 150 to 200 of those yards were in the fourth quarter. Game script. So we agree on the under. If you can't play Monkey Knife Fight, I don't know why you're watching this, but if you're going to bet, if you're like in Pennsylvania, I love the under on Prescott with the value at plus 105 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah. But we're going against Vegas here, but I don't know what Vegas is doing. And then we got Russell Wilson, 295.5.
Shootout.
Agree on that over. Yep, shootout. And And we got Fitzpatrick right down there at 280.5. We like the overs on both of those. Shootout, as long as, I mean, they're letting Russ cook. As long as they don't take like a 21-point lead, we're fine.
And Fitz looked good last week. You know, if Fitz can play like he did last week, Miami's going to keep this game close.
Yeah, and Russ, I mean, the Seahawks have allowed 400-yard passers in 2 of the games and 397 to Cam. No 12th man noise, letting Russell Wilson throw more. I think they're second in the league with early down passing, first and second down. So that increases the pace of the game, a lot more possessions.
Is Carson's playing? I haven't seen anything.
I don't think he is. Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah, so that would just, like you said, more passing for Wilson, I would think.
Yep, more passing there. They have Carlos Hyde, but
yeah, he's washed.
Yeah, he's old. Next we have at the 285.5, we got 2 quarterbacks. We got Watson and Breeze. We got 1 over, 1 under. I'll let you take over for these 2 guys.
So Watson, I'm a huge Texans fan. But man, they are awful this year. But so is Minnesota. So I like the Watson over. Will Fuller is expected to play. The offense is a lot better when Fuller is playing. I will caution you, though, if Fuller hamstring does act up in this game, it might be tough for Watson. I will be honest there. Bill O'Brien's the head coach. He is unpredictable. So it wouldn't shock me if he ran it with DJ. But I fully expect Watson to be passing often and early. So I do like the Watson over, kind of like what you said. 285 is not a lot. Will Fuller's going to be playing. They got to get that offense going. So I like the over on Watson. Breeze, no Michael Thomas. It's going to be a lot of short checkdowns to Kamara, like we saw last week. They're going to be running with Murray and Kamara against Detroit. Detroit is not a good defense. I think you and I can agree on that.
Not a good team.
Not a good team. Breeze, no Cookie. The tight end's gone. Jared Cook.
Jared Cook's gone too.
And I think, I've watched some of these games. I've watched the last 2 Saints games against Oakland and Green Bay. Breeze just does not look right this year. I don't know if it's Michael Thomas. If Michael Thomas is playing a huge role in that or what, but his down the field accuracy is not good this year. He just cannot throw it deep. So I see a lot of short passes, a lot of checkdowns. I wouldn't be shocked if Saints try and control the clock, especially if they have the lead in the second half. So I like the Breeze under 285.52.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my head's at on those 2. But Watson probably scares me the most out of all 8 of these.
Yeah, most likely. And Breeze is on the road where he sucks on the road. And they should be winning. So Breeze is on the road against Vegas, but the game script kind of screwed him. I don't know how they lost to Vegas, but he had like 50 yards in the final possession, and he probably had like 120 in the final quarter. So game script. So important. You can trust Vegas or you can go with your gut, but check those Vegas lines, see who's winning, projected to win, see who's projected to lose. Because I think Breeze had like 220, 230 going into the fourth. You should have just ran the ball the rest of the game, but nope. They sucked. So yeah, and then moving on, we touched on Fitzpatrick, so now we got 3 others left. We got Stafford at 280.5, Burrow at 275.5, and Bridgewater at 270.5. All 3 of those guys, game script. Stafford gets to deal with no Lattimore, no Jenkins, and I believe no Davenport.
Yep,
we
correct.
saw against Vegas, they were missing their 2 offensive tackles, and Carr still had all the time in the world to throw. If you give Stafford all the time in the world to throw with no Lattimore or no Jenkins, there's no reason Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, Hawkinson, and Amendola shouldn't just all just get open at least. At least one of them will get open basically every play if you give them 4 to 5 seconds, which I heavily expect to happen. Game script 2, Saints should be winning. Stafford should be an easy over. And then we got Burrow, back-to-back 300-yard games, most dropbacks in the league. Projected game script in his favor. Should be an easy over 275. And then you got check down Teddy, 270.5. Another game script. He should go over. I'm a little nervous for him. 270 is a lot, but Vegas loves his over.
Check down Teddy.
You're not going to see Panthers win this game. I mean, they beat the Chargers because it's the Chargers, but it was all field goals as well. No Christian McCaffrey. He's going to throw to Davis probably another 8 to 10 times. Hopefully he gets his deep ball back to Robbie Anderson, but against the who are they playing again? I'm blanking now.
They have
Arizona. Arizona's a good team.
Yeah. We talked
Murray
about
looked good. So should have no issues passing being down. So yeah, I love those. So we got 2 unders. We only have under on Prescott and under on Breeze, and the rest are overs. Make sure you pay attention to the line, see if they moved if you're watching this a little later. We mentioned all the passing yards, so get them in as early as possible.
Yeah.
And you can use these to make some 2-for-2s if you want.
Don't go heavy on the 2-for-2. Passing yards is tough sometimes.
It's 2 game script dependent.
And the safest 2-for-2 if you're playing one, I would say would be the Breeze under and Stafford over, but don't go heavy there.
Yeah, that one and then the Fitz Wilson. Those are probably my 2 favorite 2-for-2s if you're looking at them based off of the 8-for-8.
Yeah. But not official plays, and I'm not going heavy on them. So
I'm not even playing them. I'm just having fun with the 8-for-8s and going heavy on the other things we talked about.
Yeah.
Be selective.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on to PrizePicks.online now. Touch a little bit on that, and then we'll be out.
They have players. So
nice.
I'll talk about my favorite player, Mike Davis. Carolina running back. He's 15.6 on the board. I love Mike Davis tomorrow. He is the number 1 running back. There's no CMC. He had 9 targets last game, 8 catches. Check down Teddy. What do we say, Jimmy?
Check down Teddy.
Carolina's probably going to be trailing in the game. So, I mean, Mike Davis last game had 13 rushing attempts, 8 catches, and a touchdown. So I don't see why he won't go over again tomorrow. They're going to pass it to him. Teddy really can't throw it deep, I don't think. So 15.6. If he's catching 8 passes again, he's going way over 15.6. So I don't even know why he's that low. That's a mistake on PrizePicks' part.
Yeah, especially because it's full PPR. He might get 16.5 just from the air, even though he's a running back. We talked about game script, but fantasy points are different than rushing yards. He's one of those running backs who's game script proof, kind of like Melvin Gordon on Thursday. He's actually favored for passing yards if they're losing because he's going to get more checkdowns. So, you can get 8 catches for 50 yards. That gets him to 13. So he really only needs like a touchdown or 40 rushing yards to go over. I love that one. We got on the Kamara earlier, but now, he's even when we started the pod, Kamara was 25, and now he's up to 26.5. So I'm not going to touch him, but we got in early. He was at 23 when we got him in earlier. But you can still play him over, but
Joey, there's one more really juicy one that just got added. Look, go to the very bottom.
Mark Andrews?
No, one above him.
Justin Jefferson.
No. Okay, your screen's different than mine. Come on. Think. What game did you do? Chargers and Bucks.
Ronald Jones?
Yes. Look where he is.
14.4.
I see 12.5.
Oh, you got to update that screen, yeah.
Oh, they raised him?
Yep. Just like Kamara got raised.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Those people. God, 12.5 was so easy.
Yeah, that extra 2 points is going to be tough.
I feel like 14.4 you have to have the touchdown.
Yeah.
So I'm avoiding him at that point. If he was 12.5, I would have nutted there. So
yeah. I'm probably going to look at Miles Gaskin at 13.5. Not my favorite play. This is why you gotta get him plays early because the board's just getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, they've moved a lot actually since we talked earlier.
Yeah, I updated this. I closed out Prize Picks and opened it back up, and everybody's just higher than normal than we saw a little while ago. Gaskins very heavily used in the passing game. The only issue with him is he's not getting goal line work. So it's a little riskier. Jordan Howard's actually, I think, second in the league with rushing attempts inside the 5. So you don't hear his name ever, but he's just getting all the goal line work. Jordan Howard is. But Gaskin getting 5 to 6 catches a game, similar to Mike Davis. He gets to the rushing yards outside of the red zone. So give him 40 to 50 rushing yards. Give him 5 to 6 catches, 50 receiving yards, and that man's going over with even without the touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's another one I like. What's an interesting one also is Marquis Brown right next to him. Jackson could not connect with him to save his life, but the air yards were there. I think he missed 2 pretty wide open touchdowns, and then he had 2 drops as well. Brown could be in for a regression game right back to a huge 20-point game. It's going to be tough just because of game script. He's not going to get much second half work, but he could have a huge first half for sure.
Let's touch on Drake real quick, Joey. Kenyan Drake, I think that's an interesting one.
16, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can play that currently, but I think if Hopkins doesn't play tomorrow, I think you got to lock in Drake as an over pretty easily there.
Yeah, he's playing Carolina, who gives up 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns a game. The only worry is if Kyler Murray or Chase Edmonds decides to steal stuff. But yeah, if he gets 1 touchdown, he's definitely going over. Which the Cardinals will have 3 rushing touchdowns tomorrow. It just depends who the hell gets it.
Love that goal call.
It's tough to say who's actually going to get it, but I mean Drake is used most out of every running back in the passing game. He's getting the most snaps. He's getting the most rush attempts. Chase Edmonds just gets some mainly used in the passing game every once in a while. But as long as Kyler Murray doesn't steal everything, you should definitely go over at 16. You can even bet on him to. I like. I'm not sure what DK has him at, but odds to score a touchdown is pretty nice for him, most likely. So if it's not too much juice on it, I like the odds for him scoring a touchdown. So if you're in Colorado, listen to this. I know that's probably I think that's the only place with DK Sportsbook and Monkey Knife Fight. So that's probably the only audience I'm talking to right now. Yeah, I love him to score a touchdown. Even score 2 touchdowns, probably some good odds. Yeah. But that's all we have today, I think.
Yeah, I know there's 2 other that we were looking at, but we're going to save those for Discord. So we'll probably drop those in Discord in a few. So hop in Discord. I know there's 2, last week we looked at we did things a little bit different for Prize Picks. I think that's something you and I are looking at again today, but we're going to save that for Discord, obviously.
Yeah, that's a play I love. Drake is minus. So to help you out, Mike Davis is minus 200 to score a touchdown. So he's most likely going to score a touchdown. Drake's minus 182. So too much juice to bet on him just to score 1 touchdown. But if you want to take the chance, plus 220. So if you bet $10, you profit $22 for him to score 2 touchdowns. So if you're able to bet on DK Sportsbook, that's a good one. I like it, plus 2 touchdowns. But yeah, so sometimes you're relying on that for props. If you're looking at someone like, oh, he needs to score a touchdown to go over. If you're lucky enough to be in a state where sports betting is legalized, just make sure you check that out too, because you could get someone for pretty good value there.
One thing we'll say is a lot of these guys, if they score the way that way fantasy points works, a touchdown's worth 6 points. Majority of these guys, if they score a touchdown, they're going over most likely.
Yeah, if you look at projections, if you have any models, if you subscribe to a site, we have models up right now. Our projections portal has most people around like 0.3 to 0.6 touchdowns. So that's kind of added in for 3 extra points, which a lot of these guys are touchdown dependent. Like you see Robbie Anderson at 14.5. If he scores a touchdown, he only needs 8.5, which is 3 catches for 50 yards, which like he can get that. A lot of these guys just touchdown their bust, which sucks, but that's how projections work. Someone's projected for 5 catches, 50 yards, and a half a touchdown. He's going to be projected for 13 points. He's not going to be projected for 10. He's not going to be projected for 16. He's going to be projected right in the middle there. So either he has to have a really good game or he has to get that touchdown. So, yeah, it's tough. I'm sure Drake is projected for 1 touchdown, most likely. That's why he's all the way up at 16. Yeah, there's some good plays on the board. Mix and match our plays. Add them onto one of your plays if you like. Make some fun 4-for-4s. Hop in Discord. Get our official plays. We're gonna post everything we play. We post, especially if we net on them. So you get in all our plays. So should be a fun Sunday. Go Chargers. Should be fun. A couple shootouts. We're gonna get some Tuesday night football as well, so that should be exciting. I saw the Sunday night game. It was Eagles 49ers, and I'm like, why didn't you move the Chiefs Patriots game to that? But now we got Chiefs Patriots in prime time, and so we got a shitty Sunday night game, great Monday night game, great Tuesday night game. Hopefully they play Tuesday night.
Can't wait.
Should be a fun weekend of football.
Yep. And we'll be in Discord all week, so catch us there.
Yeah, and we got I think finals, WNBA, NBA finals on Sunday too. So a lot of sports to watch.
Boo, LeBron.
Bam's back, so hopefully this series isn't like completely.
It's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, I appreciate y'all checking in. Until next week, see ya.
See ya.